So it is a great dish to have in the freezer as well. And I'm just going to try this now. Oh yeah, the chicken is lovely and tender, and the broth has loads of flavour in it from the chorizo as well. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you're new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make my delicious chicken chorizo and potato soup. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really delicious chicken chorizo and potato soup. So this recipe, as with most of my recipes, is really easy to do, and this one is great for a cold winter's day like today. Winter has hit the UK and it is getting colder. It's not too cold at the moment, but I'm sure it will get colder soon. So I thought this recipe would be a good one to share with you today. So the first thing I've done is I've got a large saucepan, and I'm going to put this onto a high heat on my hob. And then I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the base of the pan, and I'm going to leave this pan to heat up. My pan is getting nice and hot, and I have turned the heat down slightly just to a medium heat. If you have a stainless steel pan like this one, you don't need to put it on a high heat. It will still get hot enough on a medium heat. So I have done that, I've put it on a medium heat, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one leek to this. So I've topped and tailed the leek, and by that I mean I've just taken the scraggly bits from the top and the bottom, and then I've just sliced the leek into about 1/2 centimetre pieces. It doesn't need to be exactly neat. I'm never a neat chopper, which is why I don't show you my chopping skills in videos, because I'm not a great chopper, but fairly neat for this soup would be really good. But if you can't, then don't worry. I'm sure no one's going to mind a few chunky leeks in their soup, are they? And plus leek cooks down quite well as well, so it will go quite soft in the pan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fry the leek until it starts to soften. The leek has started to soften, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in one large carrot that I simply peeled and diced. So I've just diced it into sort of 1/2 centimetre pieces, and I have also removed the top from a yellow pepper, sliced the top from a yellow pepper, sorry, removed the stalk and the core, and then and the seeds as well, and then I just simply sliced the flesh again into about 1/2 centimetre pieces, and I'm going to pop that into the frying pan like so. And I'm going to fry these ingredients until they start to sort of soften. They will take a little while to soften, and as this is a soup, you don't really need to get them too soft, to be honest, because you are going to boil them and then put them in the oven as well, so they will soften during the cooking process when you're not doing anything. But I am going to fry them for a little while just to get some heat through them and to try and sort of soften them. So I'll probably keep frying this for about 2 to 3 minutes. I've been frying these for about 2 to 3 minutes, and the pepper has started to soften. I'm also going to add in one courgette now. So I've peeled and diced one courgette. Again, I've cut this into sort of 1/2 centimetre pieces, and I'm going to add that to the pan. Normally I would grate vegetables. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I normally like to grate vegetables. Basically because they cook a lot quicker, and also because my husband and son don't know they're in there. But today, because it's a soup and it's a chunky soup, I wanted to keep the pieces of vegetables quite large. I've done mine slightly smaller today because my husband and son will still eat them if they don't know they're in there, so I'm kind of hoping the soup hides them. Fingers crossed, eh? So yeah, I have done them slightly smaller, but you could make them bigger if you like chunky vegetables in your soup. It will just take a little while to fry them for longer, basically. But now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to fry the courgette. The courgette has started to soften as well as the pepper and the carrot. So I'm going to add in some green beans. So I've got some sliced, about a handful or two of sliced green beans, and I'm just going to add that to the pot. These are frozen, but they will defrost in the pan. These won't take long to cook through at all, to be honest. If you are using greens, if you're using something like broccoli, then I wouldn't suggest you put it in the oven, to be honest, because it will start to smell a bit farty around your kitchen. What I would recommend is that you boil it separately and then add it in at the end. But also, if you wanted to use spinach or kale in this recipe, I would also add those vegetables in at the end as well, because they'll stay a bit nicer if they're put in at the end of the recipe rather than the beginning. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the chorizo. So I've got about 80 grams of chorizo, and I have removed the skin. I just simply scored down the side of the sausage and peeled off the skin, and then I've just cut it into about 1/2 centimetre pieces, and I'm going to add that to the pan as well. And I'm going to fry the chorizo until it starts to go a little bit golden brown around the edges with the vegetables as well, and this will help to flavour the vegetables too. The chorizo has started to turn a lovely golden brown colour. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in about 500 grams of chicken. So I've got about 500 grams of chicken breast that I've just simply sliced, and I'm just going to add that to the base of the pan. And while I'm frying this, if you've made it through the video this far, then thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you did enjoy this video today and you'd like to see more, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you did really like this video, then please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any questions or any comments, then please feel free to leave those in the comments section below. Everything like that really helps me out, and I would really appreciate it. So as I said, I'm just going to fry this chicken until this starts to turn a golden brown colour as well. The chicken and chorizo, the chicken has started to turn a nice colour, so it looks cooked. So when it turns that sort of whitish colour, that's when the chicken is cooked. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 tin of tomatoes to that as well. And then I'm also going to add in the stock, sorry. So I'm going to add in about 600 mils of stock. But what I'm going to do is add it to the tin first, so I can get the juice from around the sides of the tin. It's a little trick my grandmother taught me many years ago, and I use it in a lot of recipes now. And I'm just going to top that up with the rest of the stock like so. And then I'm going to add in my potatoes to this. So I've got about 800 grams of potatoes. This is going to be a bit of a tight squeeze, but I'm sure we'll fit it all in, like so. And I'm going to turn the heat up on this now. And I'm going to bring the pan to the boil, but before it comes to the boil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a teaspoon of dried mixed herbs, because they will add a lot of extra flavour to the soup. And then I'm also going to add in some salt and pepper as well. So salt and pepper to your taste. If you don't want to add it, then you don't have to. We only add a little bit. We like things with a little bit of spice, but not too much spice, to be honest. So I'm just going to add a bit of pepper as well. And I'm going to stir those ingredients round. And as I said, I'm going to leave this pan to come to the boil. The soup is starting to come to the boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat down to a medium heat. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to leave this to simmer. Actually, I'm going to put the lid on very loosely, and I'm going to leave this to simmer for a good 10 minutes, or until the potatoes become forkful, which basically means that they will fall off a fork very easily. This smells really good, I have to say. I really want to eat it right now, but I'm going to wait for an hour. I'm going to put it in the oven for about an hour. I have already preheated my oven to 150 degrees. So it's going in on a low heat just for an hour or so. This is a great meal to have to hand if you want to cook it earlier in the day, and then you can just leave it in the oven and then just heat it up a little bit and take it out when you want to eat it. These were falling off the fork earlier. These were forkful, and now guess what? They're not, which is really annoying. No, they are now. So yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this from the heat. I'm going to put it in the oven for about an hour, and then I will try some and let you know how it tastes. But as I said, it smells really good right now. The soup has been in the oven for about an hour, so I just thought I'd get it out and see how it looks. Oh yeah, that looks really good. So I'm going to serve some of this up. I'm going to try it and let you know how it tastes. But as I said, it smells amazing right now. As promised, I'm going to give this a little try now. So I'm going to try some of the chicken, and I'm also going to try a little bit of the broth as well. It is still stonkingly hot though. I have just literally taken it out of the oven, but I'm just going to blow on it for a moment. As I said, you can make this in advance of a meal and just keep it in the oven until you want to eat it. Or you could make a big batch of this and you could freeze it as well. All the ingredients in this dish are freezable, so it is a great dish to have in the freezer as well. And I'm just going to try this now. Oh yeah, the chicken is lovely and tender, and the broth has loads of flavour in it from the chorizo as well. So yes, I'm really looking forward to having this for my dinner this evening. That's how you make my delicious chicken chorizo and potato soup, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner this evening, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!